So, Mark, did you see that tweet with great advice for every man who visits Las Vegas? Bartenders, servers, this applies to adult entertainers too.
Yeah, if if they're flirting with you, it's because they probably want your money, not because you're a good-looking dude. Same advice applies if you're sitting at a bar and there's this girl that's not wearing a lot of clothes, that's pretty attractive, tries to ask you to put $1 in a machine and says she can't figure out how to play. It's not because she thinks you're cute.
She just wants your Rolex. So happy Wednesday, everyone, and happy birthday to Vegas World, which opened July 13th, 1979. And I saw this commercial from Neon Gutter shared it from Vegas World. A spectacle unto itself. This casino was something else. Bob Stupak was something else, but this commercial is just incredible.
Do you mean by incredible? You mean there wasn't much of a budget?
14 seconds of the donut shot. Come on, Mark.
Could you imagine anybody pay? What if it was like a Super Bowl commercial and they paid 20 million, whatever it is for seconds of a donut just sitting there, 10 seconds?
Hey, we love all the crazy social media stuff we get today. What could Stupak do in the age of social media? But Vegas World was a huge thing. Of course, now it's the Strat, and it evolved into that property. But Stupak was famous for his package deals. He would bust people in, give them all these packages, and that now exists in 2026 as all of these all-inclusive deals. He was a visionary.
Yeah, I loved on the X feed of people sharing like packages they booked. I think one was $100 in slot play, $100 in chip play, like table games, and the room included for a couple nights, and it cost. And they also got a card that they could get free drinks wherever they went the entire time they were there, and it was like under $200 for the room rate. I mean, that's a deal you can't beat.
And Neon Gutter, I was looking, they have a whole episode of their podcast talking about Vegas World, so I'll put a link to that. Some crazy pictures, too. I only got to visit there once as a kid. I always wanted to go there. My dad always would say, that's not on the Strip, and he refused to go that far north.
He's right.
So moving down to the actual Strip, Mark, just kidding. The Hard Rock is under construction. It topped off recently. We've talked about all of that. But a couple weeks ago, I was talking about the Tram over from Treasure Island, what it might look like. And Chris Holmes did us right. He went out and he flew the drone specifically over this area so we could see not only the Hard Rock station and where it sits, the TI station, and the fact that it's all there and it will probably reopen. We don't know a ton about that, but this is a great bit of news to see that it's all still there.
Yeah, these are great views, and we don't know for sure that it's opening, but it seems likely if they're kind of preserving this. It looks like they're working around it. They haven't knocked anything down. Not that they would, just in case in the future, but I don't know if it's the shading, the lighting, but it looks like portions of it have been refurbished or newer concrete to it. So I'm excited. This would be really cool if it reopens, and it seems like it might.
And just for people who don't remember, the Mirage Station sat right in the front porte-cochere, so right at the front entrance of the property. And so now that's what you're seeing as the property has grown to the Strip. We also received an email from Jeff who sent us some notice that they're hiring Senior VP of Player Development, VP of Culinary Operations, Food and Beverage, a lot of the high-end managers being hired now for Hard Rock Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that they lost those people when they shut down. And if you remember, when they first announced it, they were going to stay open and they thought they were going to work around the construction. And every time I went in there, the people that worked there were fantastic, super nice. They'd been there a long time since it was MGM and just kind of kept it rolling. And I was sad to see that. Maybe they'll be able to bring some of them back. I'm sure most of them went elsewhere, but hopefully they're able to get that same type of person in there and really build this place up.
It's exciting to see the Guitar Tower topped off. This property is going to start to rapidly change in front of our eyes as we approach an opening maybe a little over a year from now.
Yeah, and we're going to get some testing of the light show before then, so I'm excited to see that at first.
Going to be epic, but thanks Chris Holmes for flying the drone to see this. A really cool, very excited for that to come back. But let's keep with the construction theme here, Mark, and talk the A's Stadium and specifically Bally's. And there was an article in the Review Journal talking about Soo Kim, the chairman of Bally's, talking about what they're going to be able to build. And he says they're so close to getting the money to build the first part, which is just that restaurant retail area right on the corner of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard. But he says, trust me, bro, we're there.
Yeah, if you don't have the money just to build that portion of it, that's kind of scary, don't you think? Aren't they supposed to start next month? Or I remember like end of summer, beginning of fall, they're supposed to break ground. So this doesn't seem like it's all that trustworthy.
Well, he said still a few details to be worked out. The good news is that we are close. We understand that it's important that the podium, which is this retail area that they're building, be built in time for a spring 2028 opener, and we are in close dialogue with the A's and the landlord to make sure that we will all be ready for it. So we don't know, but we do know that the A's have a backup plan to build a power plant if Bally's doesn't come along.
Oh, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so we don't need the glow-in-the-dark baseballs. And I'm sure this is going to happen. It makes a lot of sense for them to be able to get financing, at least for that portion of it.
Yeah, you would think like that's going to be a big portion of this drawing people in. We've talked about how it's probably going to take a bit away from the stadium, a bit from the architecture, and maybe not our favorite thing about it, but there is going to be a lot of pedestrian traffic there. I do wonder how well it will do when there's not games or concerts or anything going on. Will people still walk over there? I'm sure there will be some, but I don't think it will be like a booming, bustling area. And they definitely need something around the stadium for people to kind of hang out at before. Maybe they don't need it, but they definitely want it.
And the A's, for their part, have said they have a backup plan. If none of this gets built, like I said, they'll build their own power plant and stuff. But what a weird project this is in 2026.
I can't believe GLPI hasn't like started sourcing out other people to take over and saying, you know what, Bally's, let's move on. You can't handle this. We're going to bring somebody else in.
Bally's is holding on for their dear life. This is so valuable for them. It'll be interesting to see what gets built. We want a casino. We want a hotel. Replace the Tropicana properly.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring back a casino and just name it the Trop.
In a second, we're going to talk about a guy who won an extra $1 million without even knowing it. But before we do that, I would love to invite you to subscribe. Thousands of you are watching are not subscribed. We're here every week doing the Vegas news, the fun, interesting, funny stuff happening in Vegas. Check it out. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks in advance. But let's talk about Matty Betts in this story at the Hard Rock Hollywood in Florida. He played one of those $1 million Dragon Link machines and hit the grand jackpot $1.1 million. But apparently they have this promotion where you win an extra $1 million. So he hits it and doesn't even realize it. The employee tells him that he got a cool $1 million extra on top of it. So normally you have to like deal with the taxes and all that. But hey, you know, with this extra $1 million, he got more than he thought, even after taxes.
Yeah, it basically pays the tax plus a little bit, like you said. So extra excited. I've never seen somebody low key just talking on a video about winning $2 million. She's like, I don't want to go to bed. I think this is a dream. This is really cool. All right, later.
You know, that dopamine hits and then you go into, you know, it wears off and then you just need that moment of calm. I don't know. This has got to be one of the wildest things I've ever heard. And the internet is crazy with these big spins now, though. I will say, having covered slot influencers casually the last few years, more and more $100 bets, $250 bets, $500 bets, $2,500 bets. When will it stop? It's crazy. And it seems like these jackpots are growing bigger all the time.
Yeah, with a name like Matty Betts, I would hope he'd be like, okay, this is it. I hit it. I'm going to quit. I'm done gambling. I'm just going to enjoy this and kind of sail off into the sunset. But with Matty Betts, I'm guessing just that money is going to get plowed right back into another casino.
How much does he have to win to get excited for his video?
Yeah. I mean, are you going to be betting $10,000 a spin? Then you're getting a hand pay every other spin.
Well, let's stay on the subject of high limit slots. And Cosmo opened their new high limit slot room this week, and it's themed to jungle. And look at this carpet, this leopard print carpet. This is something else.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It kind of feels cheap. I mean, leopard was like kind of tacky in the 90s. I don't know. I know it's back a bit, but it just doesn't feel like Cosmo. It feels a little bit out of place. I don't know. I don't love it. What do you think?
I don't know what to think. I got to go over there and see this in person. It's very hard to sort of visualize this. The chairs also have like animal prints on them, which is super interesting. This isn't my favorite high limit room. Not that I'm an expert on all the high limit rooms, but it kind of is very exposed to the casino. And it always felt very hectic to me. Vital Vegas did say that they do not plan to bring back the cookies, which I know were very popular. And then it went viral on social media. And I think people were abusing that. So that's sad to hear.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem all that exclusive, high end. Like we've seen all these other ones getting kind of built out that they're really nice. They feel like a private salon, gambling salon for the high rollers. And this kind of just feels like they carved out a little chunk of space and threw some machines in there. It doesn't feel special to me, at least from the videos and pictures and stuff. Maybe when you see it in person, it gives off a different version of that.
Well, Matty Betts is on his way to Cosmo, Mark, because something else debuted there along with the new high limit room, and that is new $5 million progressive Aristocrat machines, just like the one he won the $2 million on. I think the previous biggest one was $2 million at some of the casinos in Reno, and then obviously Hard Rock has that bonus, but $5 million is new. I think the minimum bet is $50 to win this. and all your favorite influencers will be there trying to hit it. But this is not only like doubling the previous biggest one, but going even bigger.
Yeah, they need to put one in the El Cortez just so they can kick people out for playing it.
All right, Mark. But yeah, this is crazy. I mean, is everybody else noticing that the bets just keep getting bigger, the jackpots just keep getting bigger, and the effect of social media and slot influencers on all of that? It's so interesting to see. But is $5 million, is that a big deal to anybody out there? This was like big news I saw on social media, but I doubt most people will ever play those machines.
Yeah, but if you do have like a slot influencer that you follow, I'm sure if you just pop in there on a weekend or during the week in the evening, you'll probably see one of them pretty soon.
Well, let's go a little bit more down market, Mark, and we got to talk about the rest of Las Vegas for a second. And Luxor, the favorite pyramid of everybody in town, they closed their South Pool a few months ago. We talked about early in the summer, right? It seemed like it was a sudden closure and it wasn't announced. Well, it's now reopened and they put up this video to show everybody what it looks like. It looks very nice, similar to before, but good news for everybody staying there that you have the full pool experience.
Yeah, I like that they kept all the theming out by the pool and the, not water slides, but the fountain coming down from the pyramid and all that stuff. I always really enjoyed that part of the pool. And it's cool to see that they just kind of refurbished it. Maybe there was a leak or something big that they couldn't fix in the pool. So they said, all right, we got to tear the whole thing out. But it looks really nice. And now people don't have to make that long trek over to some of the other MGM resorts. They can go right to the pool when they're staying at the Dirty Pyramid.
Well, I realized I probably ordered these stories a little bit weird, but let's talk the Hadrian Villa. Back to upscale, back to nice things. And this is one of those crazy villas at Caesar's Palace. They put out the video of it. And I knew you had to be happy seeing this because not only does it have a private pool and private spa, but it has its own pizza oven.
Yeah, and they said the chef will come and make pizzas for you there, which is pretty insane. A wood fire pizza oven. It probably has great flavor. All that stuff looks really cool. I don't know that if you're coming to Vegas and you stay there, do you even leave the room?
No, this room is beautiful. And we talk about Caesar's Palace, how it doesn't always feel upscale in some of their room products and it's all over the place. But this is a world-class suite as far as the decor, everything they have in there. Over 4,000 square feet of outdoor space on that terrace, including the private pool, all that stuff. This is a suite that everybody would want to stay in. And of course, these villas, I think at one point, remember, they had them bookable online. That's when I got that mistake rate. But I'm not sure if you can book this one or if you need a host. Usually these things are given away for free.
Are these one of those ones that people can look down into your backyard area, though, when they're up in their rooms?
I think it does sit by the pool area, so probably some of the rooms might have a view. Not as bad as some of the other towers around town, but hey, that's just the downside of being a fancy person in your villa, is that you're on display.
And maybe people like that when they do certain things outside.
Welcome to Las Vegas. As a reminder, we have our Patreon. You get access to our awesome after show where we break free, talk about the things we can't talk about here, money saving guide, other content as well. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. Thanks to everybody in our Patreon community. So, Mark, I buried the lead in this thing. The big news of the week really is right here. Tony and Tina's wedding is returning to Las Vegas. It's returning to Rio, Las Vegas. And that's all you need to know. Tony and Tina's wedding, an awesome show. It was once there, I think, in the parking lot at some point. It's moved all around everywhere. And I've been there. I've enjoyed the show. Good dinner, good company. If you don't know, it's like you're attending a wedding. There's actors everywhere. It's a good time.
Yeah, an iconic show, and we've lost a lot of these types of shows, so it's cool to see it brought back. And I love how many people they can fit in there for each performance. Just kind of feels like family. Everybody gets rambunctious. I'm sure everybody's in similar spirits, and you have to be kind of in the right mind frame when you go into something like that. So it's cool to see it brought back for anybody that didn't get to experience it and wanted to. Kind of bringing this type of show back to Vegas where it seems like it's kind of died off. So that's really cool to see.
I think the last place it was in town was at the Buca de Beppo on the strip over, was it at Bally's? Now, it did displace Marriage Can Be Murder, which we talked about maybe 6 months ago when it came to Rio. It wasn't that long ago. That's another long-standing live entertainment type show running in Vegas. So that is closing. And then Tony and Tina's wedding opening August 13th. But Rio keeps trying. They keep trying mixing together their entertainment and they keep going. Penn and Teller, their headliners. Hey, they have several showrooms. Give them credit for keeping several showrooms open at that property.
August 13th is my wedding anniversary, so maybe we should go. Me and my wife, not me and you.
Hey, glad you cleared that up. So now on to Mandalay Bay, or the W down south. Skyfall is the other lounge there. We talked about Foundation Room. They closed. It's being rebranded to the Vinyl Room, and it's supposed to open in August. But the other lounge at the top of those properties with great Las Vegas Strip views is kind of long in the tooth, I would say. Skyfall hasn't been renovated in a long time, probably needs it, and it will close July 20th through August 4th for that renovation. So once this is all back up and running, by the end of this year, you'll have both of those lounges at the top of the Mandalay Bay Towers as hot as ever.
It really does get pretty hot when you go outside to those viewing decks up there. And this is probably my favorite of the rooftop type bars in Las Vegas. Just such a cool view, especially once the guitar tower is up and going. I think it will even add a little bit more to this view, but I've always enjoyed it there. Service has been great. It's been a lot of fun, but it does feel like early 2000s with like the deep purples and maroons and stuff like that in the design aesthetic. Hopefully they still keep the black toilets that you sit on and stare out and feel like you're displayed to the whole strip.
That's what I was going to say. The best part of this is we're going to get renovated bathrooms with a window. So maybe we don't need the black toilet anymore. Maybe we can do something else. Make it great. There's no color anymore in the world, so I'm sure it's just going to be absent of color, but let's make it cool.
Well, that's just so they don't have to clean it so well.
And let's close with this, Mark. AI hosts. AI is everywhere, all over the world, all over our lives. Data centers being built, everything else, just so your casino host could become AI. I saw this article in the Review Journal talking about this company called Hey Steven with their new platform that combines gaming data, behavioral insights, and AI-driven conversations with players to build what the company describes as a holistic player profile, allowing operators to tailor offers and identify emerging VIP customers more effectively. So this is weird. So they want you to talk to the AI so that it can mine more data and understand you better as a customer so that the casino could market to you better. I think that this probably isn't going to work out better for the player. And then also, can we just talk about the fact that maybe high rollers don't want to talk to an AI? They want to talk to an actual host?
Maybe they're really lonely. Who knows? Maybe they do enjoy it. But I think this ends up working out poorly for us. They're just going to figure out a way, like the bare minimum they have to give you to get you to come back. That's really what this is going to drive down to. It's not going to find that diamond in the rough a little bit quicker and give you better offers. It's going to end up worse offers. So don't talk to them. I even hate like when you check into a hotel and you get that Emma AI assistant that bothers you all the time and texts you in the middle of the night asking how things are. Like, I don't even want that, much less this.
You know, it's going to start asking you questions, and then everything you say to it is going to be used against you later in the realm of your gambling. So I don't know why this would be a good thing. You also can't really establish a relationship, and having a relationship with a host is a huge deal in the space, and being able to work them for extra stuff. I know a lot of gamblers who get so much joy out of working the comps and pushing harder and manipulating everything. And with the AI, you're not going to be able to do that. And then, like I said, everything you tell it is going to be remembered and used against you. I go to the gaming shows and there's all this software designed to retain casino profits. And this is just going to be one of the other ones. But why do we have to have AI for everything?
Plus, you can bribe hosts with Amazon gift cards. You can't bribe this AI host.
Have you tried? I don't know, but let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today. Are you excited for AI hosts? Is that something that you would use as a gambler in the future? The $5 million jackpot, Cosmo's new high limit room, and Vegas World. Did you ever get to experience it? That commercial, do you enjoy it? 14 seconds of donut time. Is that time well spent? Let us know down below. We'll be back on Friday with another show. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Have a good week, everybody. I hope you put a donut up now.